just going to put it like that. I'll do it like that for a few minutes. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show, and we are live. I hope it's working. Let me just check that on my system here. We're just going to have a very interesting show today, actually, but I'm going to talk properly about that in a few moments. But we're going to be interviewing the fantastic Matt Halper from PheromoneCologne.com. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Dan. How are you? It's so lovely to see you again and spend some time with you.
It is
once again.
lovely to have you back here once again. Thank you for joining us. So
Thank
we're just
you.
going to catch
Thank
up
you.
there with the chat a little bit and say hello. Only a couple
Sure.
of people joining us so far, but we'll see if that livens up in a little while. So we have a gentleman called Jerry OSBB saying hello. Welcome to the show, Jerry. It is absolutely great to have you here. And we're going to be discussing the topic of pheromone colognes, the general kind of idea of what they are and what they can do, and more specifically, Mr. Halper's brand here, PheromoneCologne.com, and what that's all about. I thought this could be a kind of, when we're doing a live stream, it's good if it's something where people can have a different opinion. And sometimes with fragrances, it's not that much of a spicy topic. But I think this one will kind of animate people a little bit, because you're going to have some people who are cynical, and you're going to have people who are intrigued by it too. And there's a lot that I don't know about the subject, although I have had you on the show once before. Just to tell us a little bit about what you've been up to this week before we get into the meat of the interview. How has your day been? And just tell people where you are in the world there, Matt.
Okay, well, we're in West Palm Beach, sunny West Palm Beach, Florida, United States of America. This is pretty much where we've been in South Florida for a very long time. So this is pretty much home base where we are. And what we've been up to this past week is we have a very, very big launch coming up, and that is the launch of the Grand Cherry Oud. We've been predicting a launch on this for going on about 3 months now, and I just had to make sure every component was absolutely perfect in every module. It is, and it's safe to say, excuse me, that I'm the only human being in the world, the only man in the world that owns such an asset.
All right, well, let's get straight into that topic then, I think, now. So before we begin that, I'm just going to remind viewers that my recommended USA-based fragrance sampling site is decantboutique.com, where you can go and use my code MrSmelly10 for 10% off. They've got a massive range of designer and niche fragrances. And my recommended UK-based site has a new code, which is not that one, which I'll put up in a minute or two, but that is going to be fragrancesamplesuk.com, and the code there for you guys is actually now changed from the one that I had on there previously. It's Smelly 2025. If you're in the UK, go to fragrancesamplesuk.com, an amazing array of designer and niche fragrances, and I've used them myself as a happily paying customer, so check those guys out. Okay, so hello, Matt. Well, we're going to talk about pheromone colognes then. PheromoneCologne.com is the place to go to buy your stuff. At the moment, I believe I'm correct in saying you're only available in the USA. Is that correct?
We are. That's correct. I think you can get it in Canada, perhaps through one of our distributors. There's a company called Beauty Bridge, beautybridge.com, and you can buy some of our products on their website. And I believe they do send to Canada, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, awesome. So North America. Okay. Hello to Hez Binkovitz. Nice to have you in the chat. And he's the man behind Hez Parfums. So Hez Parfums is the correct name of that one. So great to have you here. He's a perfumer in the chat. So I'm going to ask you the obvious key question that a lot of people will not know the answer to this one, including perhaps myself. What then, Matt, is a pheromone cologne? What's so special about them?
Well, a pheromone cologne is a cologne, obviously, with pheromones in it. In today's marketplace, the industry on a whole it's been completely oversaturated with predominantly novelty items. Every day, more and more companies come out, and they're really diluting the good players in the game. It's unfortunate. So, in general, a pheromone cologne is supposed to have pheromones in it. It's supposed to have a certain level of milligrams inside the bottle, and it's supposed to work. The problem is, in today's world, you really don't know what you're getting. They really don't say. You don't know who to believe. You don't know how much is in there, et cetera, et cetera. But our pheromone cologne is extremely unique because we have a proprietary yield of human sexual pheromones for men and for women. So with a pheromone cologne per se for men, we're using the highest percentage that you can actually produce in this hormone category, which is a 99% purity level. And we're infusing that high potency molecule into some incredibly beautiful, rich designer French fragrances, which is pretty much what the entire private collection is. So we're able to offer people an incredible French cologne eau de parfum for men. But the beauty of it is it's infused with the most purest form of human sexual pheromones that scientific technology in the biotech community can yield today. I know it's a lot to chew on my explanation, but I hope that was sufficient for everyone.
That's a great start. I've got some follow-on sort of questions from that then. So, what actually is the benefit of having a pheromone cologne? I'm sure they smell great. I haven't had the
It's a
opportunity to try
great
them, but
question.
why is it different to just having a nice smell? What is the actual
Well,
pheromone supposed to do? And what
let me.
evidence is there to support the fact that it actually works?
Okay, let me ask you a question, Sir Dan.
Yes.
When you wear, what's one of your favorite colognes to wear out when you go out?
I've got one
You
here
want
from
to you want
Bois
to
de
be attractive. You want to, maybe catch someone's attention. Oh, what is that lovely bottle?
Bois de Portugal from Creed.
Fabulous.
Very
That's a
gentleman.
beauty.
Yeah.
Now, you can wear that out and you're going to smell good. You're going to enjoy the fragrance. Other
Yes.
people are going to enjoy the fragrance. Women will enjoy the fragrance. Okay. And that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. That's
Mm-hmm.
what most people do when they put on cologne, or women do when they put on perfume. The difference is when you add a pheromone in there, such as ours,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
instilling a hormone, a live molecule, a live hormone, if you will, human, of course, because it wouldn't work in any other manner. And what happens is when you spray the our cologne, if you will, and the molecules are infused within. Once it lands on the skin surface, the alcohol evaporates. Yes, you'll have the beautiful oils and the fragrance just exuding everywhere, but on your skin surface, when the alcohol evaporates, the pheromone molecules become crystallized. And when your body warms up and you move around, they then become airborne. And when you have, humans, people from the opposite sex in your immediate vicinity and they smell your cologne, how beautiful it is, well, they're getting your cologne and your fragrance, of course, but they're also intaking a pretty huge dose of human sexual pheromones, which do one thing and one thing only, is attract the opposite sex.
Right. Now, we know the idea that we may be producing our own
That's correct.
pheromones.
We do.
Why do we need artificial ones or or whatever ones you're using? And
It's a great question.
is that actually going to be more attractive than if you just happen to be giving off good pheromones of your own? Why do we need this?
Sure.
What's the point?
Well, I'll tell you, it takes the human body, and this is a fact, anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks to really start producing highly potent pheromones, which means during that 2 to 3 week time frame, you can't shower, you can't bathe, you can't take a washcloth, you can't use deodorant, soaps, oils, anything,
Mm,
perfumes, colognes. So if you can imagine a man and or a woman not bathing for a solid 2 to 3 week time frame, well, you have a lot of things going on there except your body just producing highly potent pheromones. You have body odor, you have hints of urine, you have bacteria, you have dirt, you have sweat. But when you can compartmentalize all those components and move all the bad things, the only thing left remaining would be that actual pheromone, which would do one thing and one thing only, and that's attract the opposite sex. So, what we're doing is we're taking that pheromone, but we've produced it to such a high level of pure.
mm,
Um, what would once the component? It's 99% pure. You're getting a dose of pheromones that are that of a perfect human being's body or makeup. A lot of people, let's say you wanted to use your pheromones, and let's say your body's toxic. Let's say you're overweight. Let's say you eat a lot of bad food. You eat pizza and McDonald's and soda every day. You don't exercise. You smoke cigarettes all day long. People that take care of themselves in this type of manner, well, you're not going to produce natural, normal, highly potent pheromones. You'll produce them, but I can tell you one thing, they're not going to attract the opposite sex. So because of our 99% purity level, there's no interruptions. It's direct to the point.
All right. I'm going to ask you a little bit more about your products in a minute, but
Sure.
before we get to that, so what would you? Of course, there's going to be a lot of skepticism from some people.
Mhm.
What would you say to people who say, this is just BS, it doesn't work? Is there any scientific evidence that pheromones
Sure.
that you apply like this could work? And or maybe do you have any anecdotal evidence of your colognes actually having the desired effect on people?
Well, sure. I can say several things, Dan. Number one, we've been doing our own research and development, private research and development, pretty much since inception. We're having our products tested almost every day because when we send product out, a lot of our customers are repeat customers. We're going on 16 years. So, inevitably, to answer your question,
Hmm.
if the pheromone colognes didn't work, I don't think
Yep.
we'd be in business going on 16 years and busy as all heck. I mean, I don't know how else to explain to people that are naysayers pheromone colognes work and they don't work. A lot of people perhaps might have a little bit of a misinterpretation of how pheromone colognes work. And please allow me to explain.
Hmm.
Just because you take a pheromone cologne, I don't care if you're a great looking guy, you're a mediocre guy, you're, your average Joe, overweight, just because you spray pheromone colognes on doesn't mean you're going to literally hypnotize or brainwash a woman. Okay. If you're acting
Okay.
stupid, you're acting like a jerk, maybe you're not dressed right. There's so many variables involved. Look, I mean, just because you spray the pheromone cologne on doesn't mean that someone's going to walk up to you and just, fall over you head over heels. Now, has it ever happened before? It's exactly happened before. These things have happened to me, of course, and hundreds, if not thousands, of my customers. Sometimes women will react immediately, and you're thinking, oh my God, I have this magic potion in a bottle. I walked in here and I had a woman come on to me in 5 minutes. These things happen all the time. One of my dear friends, Rick, I think I shared this story with you. I'll be quick.
Hmm.
We tried out the blue label, and he was one of your classic naysayers. We
Hmm.
all met at this bar. Rick put the blue label on outside in the parking lot. We walked inside, and we're sitting at the bar, and about 5 minutes later, a whole train of girls walked in, and these girls walked right behind us, and in about 60 seconds, I just turned around like, where's Rick? Like, Rick? Guy's right behind me making out with this girl. Complete stranger. Just walked right by the bar. So she was hooked by the essence of the pheromone colognes. This is how they work. So it just depends on the scene you're in. It depends
Hmm.
how friendly you are with women. You have to notice, excuse me, you have to notice a woman's reaction when they become flirty. Maybe they're playing with their hair. They have their legs crossed. They're wiggling their ankles. They're wiggling their feet. They're just really engaged in speaking with you at length. These are all signs of how a woman is engaged upon her reaction towards a man when the pheromones are actually working. So at that point, it's up for the guy to pretty much close the scenario and take it to the next level. But it's not something you're going to put on and someone's going to be brainwashed to follow your every and direct order. That's not how pheromones work. I
Okay.
think you can use what's called ether for something like that, but I don't think guys are going to be going around in clubs putting a a thing of ether on women and say,
We
"You
did. We
come with
certainly
you
don't
come with
recommend that,
me,"
viewers. No, we'd like to make it very clear that we do not condone
Indeed,
you are
Dan.
joking. Yes. No, I know what
I'm
you mean. Yeah.
absolutely joking,
You
you
have to be
know,
so
but
careful with YouTube nowadays. But no,
yeah,
of course, that would be completely wrong. But yes, so you're not. It's not a magic wand, but as far as you're concerned, it will give you a little bit of an edge,
yes,
and you may be
it's
surprised at the results.
well, it's
If it's
not going to
combined
give
with you,
you.
if you also look good and behave nicely, it might just give you that little boost.
For example, if you
Hmm.
had it on and you can act accordingly and you're in a good situation and you're in a good
Yeah.
place and you're in a really great social environment and you know when things are happening, you're being very social, you put it on, it's going to work. When you don't wear it, chances of you having an incredible evening like that out probably not going to happen. So when I go out, I put my pheromone colognes on. I meet girls all the time, but maybe that's because who I am, Dan. Maybe because I am
Hmm.
friendly.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Okay.
like I've said, I've said this so many times before. We have so many write-ins from our customers, and the stories over the past 15 years that I've heard from our customers, they're not believable sometimes. So when you share it with the public audience, what do they say? Oh yeah, sure, sure. So what can we say? Try some, and I'm sure you're going to have a great experience with our product. I mean, I don't know what else to say. We personally guarantee everything. So,
Absolutely great, and I think you've given a very good exposition of that. So I'll just tell, because
hope
of course
so.
people will be watching this and think, well, why is Mr. Smelly talking about this? The reason I'm doing this, first of all, we do not have any business collaboration or
No.
anything. I don't have a a referral link or anything like that. I haven't actually tried them because you can't send them outside the USA. So the only reason I'm doing this is genuinely just because I'm interested in it, and I
Mhm.
just find it a fun topic because we hear so much about people talking about fragrances on YouTube
Mhm.
that will help you to be attractive to women. But it's just because they supposedly smell really nice. Well, yours actually goes to a different level and says that you
You're
actually have
taking it to the next level.
yeah, which
Absolutely. When you have a
I find
pheromone
it interesting.
cologne
Yeah.
on,
Hmm.
when you're wearing a pheromone cologne on and you're wanting to go meet and entertain a woman, you're in. You're going to have a magnificent result. That's a fact. If you don't wear pheromone colognes and you're meeting with a woman, good luck. It's 50-50. But with it on, oh, your odds are probably 80-20 in favor.
I like it. Okay. Um,
It's true.
I well, the problem
True.
is yeah, there are things online that you can find that will actually affirm that there are studies that show that pheromones are important in
I want
attraction
to share
between
that with
people,
you.
right? I mean, there is scientific evidence to back that up,
There
isn't there?
is,
Yeah.
there is, Dan,
Okay.
and that was the second part of your
Hmm.
question. What
Yeah.
type of scientific evidence? Listen, I'm
Yes.
not going to post all of the research and data that I've looked into, but if one is savvy enough, they really want to find out what's going on there in pheromones or what's really happening, with any type of university studies, scientific experiments. It's all out there. It's all on Google. You have the University of Chicago that had some incredible results that were posted on the internet. But you can
Hmm.
go on and on and on. And the writing is probably very boring. If you want to look into the biotech
Hmm.
side of things, the reading's probably not legible, or the vernacular is probably quite difficult for some to understand. But it's all there. You just have to research it.
Okay. Yeah. I did after our last video, and there is stuff out there that does confirm that pheromones
Indeed, there
are
is. But Dan,
important.
realize this, that
Yes.
we're pheromonecologne.com. We've only been selling to the community
Hmm.
high potency, pure human sexual pheromones, period.
Hmm.
We're probably at the point of like 1 point something million bottles sold since inception.
Wow.
It's a real simple answer. If the pheromone colognes didn't work, and we haven't heard all these remarkable results and
Hmm.
confessions from customers, I couldn't be in business. I don't know how else to explain it. Look, our pheromone clones smell incredible. The private collection, they're French based. We import all the notes and the oils from France. Everything is just incredible. But we sell pheromone cologne. So if people just went out and smelled nice, I don't think they'd be very happy. But the point is, they're hooking up with the opposite sex, going on 16 years now. I think it answers the question. Do they work? Of course it works. I wouldn't be here if it didn't.
Okay. I want to say that I personally don't run my channel generally around the topic of trying to attract women, even when I review fragrances that I really like. So, and I personally, at the moment, I'm lucky enough to have a nice girlfriend. So I'm personally not
Good.
on this quest. But I guess if you're in a relationship, it probably wouldn't hurt if you give off nice pheromones too. But I think what we'll do now, let's turn it over to the audience because we'll have a live stream and
Sure,
let's take
sure.
advantage of that. So we'll get some questions from the chat now, and I'm sure you'll be more than happy to answer
Love
them
to.
because
Love
you're
to.
not short of an explanation for any questions so far, which is great. Let's just go to let's go to a couple of the questions. We've got some important ones. Here we go. Bilbo Fraggins, who is a friend and a moderator, he says, "I like the smell of my own pheromones. That spot between your sack and
No,
thigh at the end of the
stop,
day is
stop.
just right." Sorry. We don't mind a
There's
little bit
no
of that.
such thing. There's no
Okay.
such thing. When someone says, I
That's
like
not
the
a
smell of my own pheromones, listen, you enjoy the scent that you're putting off on your own. You're not enjoying the scent of your pheromones. It does that's a statement. It doesn't make any type of scientific sense.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, Bill.
following on. I think he was joking anyway. Following on from that, Nightmare 456. Is it like Molecule 01, where some people can smell it and some can't?
You know, it is. You know, it
Right.
really is. Some people have really, really sensitive sniffers, noses, whatever, nose.
Yeah.
Some don't. So some people who are very, very in tune with sense can pick up there's something going on with a fragrance, with a scent, with an odor, but you can't pin it down because, you know, a lot of people ask us, do our pheromone cologne smell? We've done a lot of interviews on Instagram with several other influencers besides yourselves, Dan, and
Hmm.
they all claim like, wow, it's an incredible dose of pheromones. It absolutely is coming out of the bottle, but after about 10 minutes when they settle down, it pretty much becomes odorless.
Right.
Right out of the bottle, you're gonna smell them. They're very unique. But again, once it blends in with the fragrance and it settles down, it
Hmm.
goes away. They're undetectable.
We're going to come to the actual products that you offer in a minute, but you do have some that are just pheromones and some that are actual fragrances with the
Correct.
pheromones combined. We'll come on to
Correct.
that in a moment, but the pheromones in and of themselves are not something that are designed to. It's not about how they smell; it's the effect they have. We've got a couple of really good questions on the same lines here. Hez Binkovitz, our great friend there. How do they source it? And also the devil's advocate, more or less the same question. Where do they get their pheromones? That's a fascinating question.
Well, I think, Dan, you addressed that in our last interview. We have a
Yeah.
farm out in the desert full of sweaty men, and we just let them
I'm
stay out there.
visualizing.
We
Yeah, I'm
we
visualizing
feed
that.
we
Yeah.
feed them on occasion. We take them out every now and then, but we pretty much keep them out there to sweat, and we take the molecules and reproduce them. No, no, of course not. So our molecules are produced almost daily at one of the
Mhm.
largest biotech companies in the world. Now, we don't share with people where we have them produced. Very simply, we don't want the world contacting them. It's our biotech company, and our procedure is it's proprietary. It's quite literally that. So we are producing every day the most purest form of potent human sexual pheromones that technology can yield. And that's a fact.
Okay. Are they synthetic? I was going to ask the same thing as Binkovitz has asked. Are they
Yeah.
synthetic?
They are synthetic pheromones, yes.
Straight answer to a straight question. Okay. So yeah, there's no human beings
The synthetic
producing something.
pheromones, you know, it's a great, I'm glad that you brought it up, actually, because when you're using synthetic pheromones, I mean, this is like a trade secret. I don't know if I want to share this or not, but what I can say is you get a much better result using synthetic human sexual pheromones than you would the real. For some reason, they tend to last longer, and the potency level just seems to really remain a lot longer if they were just purely human. But you have to realize human pheromones really aren't made to last. I
Hmm.
mean, you put ours in a bottle. You could have a bottle on the shelf 3 to 5 years. They're still going to be potent, but there's a lot more benefits using a synthetic blend of the molecule because that's how we reproduce the molecule synthetically rather than it being a pure, just a regular human molecule. So,
Okay.
yes, they are
Okay.
synthetic.
That's a great answer. Thank you very much. Hello to Dave B, great friend of the show there. We've got one from another friend of the channel, JJ Colburn. He says, hello, folks. Just wanted to drop in to say that there is no compelling
Right?
evidence that these fragrances function in the manner of pheromones in insects or non-human mammals.
Sorry, say that again.
He says, yeah, I wasn't quite sure how to read that. Just wanted
Come
to drop
again?
in to say that there is no compelling evidence that these fragrances function in the manner of pheromones in insects or non-human mammals. Not
I,
quite
I,
sure what
I
he means exactly by that.
don't
Maybe
understand that. Yeah. Well, what I
okay.
can say is
He doesn't
this.
seem to be a fan. He says, save your
Hold
money
on.
on fragrances that will be far more satisfying and make no claims that are not rooted in fact. How do you
Yeah,
respond
listen.
to that? How do you
Yeah,
respond?
listen, it's okay. I mean, everyone has their own opinion to that, but if people have their mindset on something that they don't know about, unfortunately, the human default is we tend to mock what we don't know. So
Mhm.
you're going to get a lot of that, but the only way really to know and really find out is to try it. Try one of our colognes and you'll see a huge shift in everything once you spray it on and you step out and you're in the scene. You will notice it.
All right. I am here as I'm the Piers Morgan here. I'm neutral, but I'm enjoying your answers, and we do want those kind of questions because that's what it's all about. And here's
Absolutely.
another
Yeah.
good
I'm not
question. Hey,
offended. I'm not offended
oh,
by it at all. Listen, everyone has an opinion. Everyone's
mhm.
entitled. It's okay. You know?
We've got a couple of good questions. This is probably a pretty quick one to answer. Has been convinced again. Thank you for the question. Are there any allergy concerns?
No, none. They're all hypoallergenic.
Fair enough.
We've been yeah, this has been something that's been researched for I mean, my God, probably well, we're 15 years, 16 years into this now, so at least 20 years that there's no
Yep.
evidence of any type of an allergic reaction to it. So
All right.
definitely not.
Here's a
Our,
point
our
that will
colognes are all hypoallergenic.
good. Well, that's certainly a good thing. We have
Yeah.
a good a negative comment, but could open up a good
Oh,
next section that I
yeah,
wanted to do.
yeah.
I
Of
wanted to do
course.
this anyway. Martin
Sure.
Howe says also frags with these pheromones are trash in terms of frag creativity. Okay, that leads us on to what are the products that you sell? You've got two categories. A couple of
Yeah.
key questions kind of relating to what he said there. We can, you're obviously going to try to prove that what he said is not fair. You have some things which are just pheromones,
Right.
yes, and some
Yes.
things which are fragrances which have
Correct.
pheromones in them.
Correct.
And little sub question to that is that you also have ones that are aimed at women and ones that are aimed at men.
Correct.
So could you just give us an overview of the different categories that you've got there? So
Well,
the
sure.
non-smelly ones and the smelly ones and who they're aimed at.
Okay, well, they're really not smelly, but the private collection
Yes.
is the first of its kind in the world. It is a
Hmm.
very, very high-end French designer cologne eau de parfum line
Hmm.
for men and women, and they
Right.
are all infused with high potency pheromones. Every
Okay.
one of those bottles is a true gourmand. Okay.
And the actual, yeah,
Um,
the actual fragrances. Then, what kind of things are you trying to do? Are they would they be similar to designer fragrances, or more
yeah,
niche,
absolutely.
or do they
I'm
take their
sorry, my
cues
my
from?
dog is barking. I'm
Calm
sorry,
down, boy.
man.
Do
Yeah,
they take their
yeah.
cues sometimes from popular fragrances that we've already heard of? Some people are going to probably say, "I bet they're just
No,
clones,"
no,
or
no.
what are they all about?
Everything that was created was every note, every scent, every particular oil and combination of things that we use is all handpicked by me. I'm extremely particular with fragrances. When something smells absolutely incredible, like holy cow, we're selling it, and that's the process that we take. So our French cologne line, everything is imported from France, and it's been very, very successful because Again, it's the only one of its kind, a very high-end French designer cologne eau de parfum for men, which is infused with high-potency pheromones. So not only do you get that incredible gourmand
Hmm.
intensity of a beautiful fragrance, but it's loaded with high-potency pheromones. You can't lose. So that's the private collection. Now,
Yes.
when you scroll down on the website, you'll see the N09. Oh, it's funny. Look at that. N09 Basque. That was the first line that we came out with 15 plus years ago, the number 9 Basque. And the gold label is for men, and the white label is for women. And that's how you differentiate. For women, we're using estradiol. Estradiol is the most aggressive sexual human woman's hormone in the female body.
Hmm.
For men, we use what's called androstenedione, and that is also one of the most sexually aggressive hormones and/or pheromones in the male body. So very simple to distinguish. We have the white label for women, and we have the gold label for men.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good description. So,
yeah.
what I've done there is I've put a comment down in the chat, which is also pinned, but I'm just putting it down there sporadically again. If you want to go and check out the site, whether you're a skeptic or you're all in on this, go and have a look and see what their products look like and where you can check them out. As I say, I have no incentive to promote them, but I'm just interested. So go and check them out, and you can make your own mind up. What is one or two of your biggest sellers that you would
Oh,
recommend in terms of the ones that are actual perfumes? What would you recommend as a great place to start for the average, perhaps for the average man,
sure.
because it's mostly
Sure.
male viewers?
Well, I'll tell you, with this generation today, um, and marijuana being a very, very big party favor, social, one of the favorite social activities from the many. The Black Afghan is extremely popular.
Hmm.
We sell dozens of bottles, if not more, every day. Excuse me. The Black Afghan is the only pheromone cologne, eau de parfum for men, that has a CBD line of
Right.
Black Afghan marijuana. It has that strain. So we've compared, we've infused the marijuana strain with a beautiful French Belgium, if you will. Well, I would say more towards a Belgium coffee chocolate liqueur. There's butterscotch in there. There's vanilla. The fragrance is just something that is so delicious that when you wear it, you become a walking dessert. Um, it's just so delicious. So the Black Afghan is incredible. Number two, again, one of my favorites also is the Sacred Cherry. I
Yes,
just
I
love
remember
it.
you. Yeah, I remember you
Yeah,
mentioning
yeah,
that one
yeah.
last time. Yeah.
I love a really, really unique cherry fragrance that's unique. And the Sacred Cherry is very, very popular. I'll share something with you. We have a
Yep.
very famous, we have a lot of celebrities, a lot of famous
Can I
people
just
that
say
buy
hello
our
to my friend
products.
in the chat there?
Yeah.
Just hello to the
Sorry, yeah.
Fragrance Decant
Yeah.
Boutique. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hello to the Fragrance Decant Boutique, and don't forget decantboutique.com, as I mentioned earlier, is my recommended USA-based fragrance sampling site. Use the code Mr. Smelly 10 for 10% off. Forgive me, I
No, not at
interrupted
all.
you.
So what I was saying is, for example, with the Sacred Cherry, first off, we have a huge celebrity clientele, and we've had a celebrity
Mhm.
clientele for 13 years now. It's quite impressive.
You're not going to tell me the name, so are you?
No, no, I can't. But I'll share something with you.
All right.
There's a world famous boxer. That's right, he's a
Hmm.
boxer. And
Yes.
if I told you his first name, you'd probably already know. Okay, so we're not going to say anything. So
Okay.
in the past, I'd say about 3 years,
Yep.
this man, and he's a very cool guy.
Hmm.
He's probably gone through about 12 to 15 bottles of the Sacred
Hmm.
Cherry in 14 years. So it's pretty amazing. Not in
Okay.
14 years. I'm sorry. That it's been. I apologize. I take that back. In 4 years, he's
Oh
gone
wow.
through about 14 bottles of the
Well,
Sacred Cherry.
that tells you
It's
something.
just
Yeah.
fascinating.
Okay, I just want to get some more audience interaction there. So JJ Colburn there says, I'm all for leaning into a myth, but I am not into any consumer product making claims that are not rooted in scientific biological evidence. Okay, well, we've obviously heard that in your opinion there is biological evidence that backs it up, so we can debate that with anything,
There's all
can't we? I mean,
kinds of
yeah.
scientific proof and research that's been done. But, once again, to address these technical questions, ladies and gentlemen, please, I want to share something with you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've been in charge of doing private development and research regarding the reaction that men and women have from our colognes, okay? It's almost impossible not to believe that our products would not work, okay? It's just the way science is. God created people, human beings, to react to human sexual pheromones when promoted properly. Well, we're doing exactly what God created us to do. It's a very natural, a very common response.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of scientific technology to it. Human pheromones attract the opposite sex. Pheromones in the animal world do the same thing. Pheromones in the insect world do the same thing. If you're such a doubter, try to find a good bottle of product out there today and try it for yourself. I'm sure you will be pleasantly surprised.
Great. We've got another interesting.
I use it myself. I can't wait to start doing experiments with the Grand Cherry Oud. I mean, I already know what's going to happen. I've been doing this for 16 years, Dan. I don't know what else to say to make all the naysayers out there believe that such an incredible, expensive product, all the money and time and science we've put into this, someone's going to tell me it doesn't work. Well, it's not the way.
As long as you've got people who do enjoy buying it, that it doesn't really matter to you if there are naysayers. I guess that's
You
life,
have
especially.
to try it. You
Oh, there
have
you
to
go.
try
This,
it.
this is fair. I wanted to. Well, it was an interesting question I wanted to ask. Actually, sorry. This was an interesting point. Sorry, Nightmare 456 JJ. Even if it is BS, it could have a placebo effect and give people confidence. Which, yeah,
Right.
I mean, well,
Again, everyone doubts. Oh, let's throw in every possible negative connotation. Once again, you'll never know unless you try it. You can't judge a book by its cover, everyone. You have to try it.
well, I would say, yeah, I mean, I think the comment is really kind of a positive one from
How
your
do they
point of view in a way.
know?
I
How
mean,
do
if
they
you
know?
feel that you're wearing something that's making you chemically attractive to women, there isn't, let's go with your way of looking at it,
It's a
that it's definitely,
confidence booster
it will
too.
also, yeah, you're going to be in a better mood and think, tonight is my night when you step out the door. So the psychological effect isn't a bad thing either, is it?
Correct. You're
If you
going to
believe
have a
it,
placebo effect. It's only
okay,
normal. I mean, look, you
all
put
right.
on Creed Absolute, one of the best smelling fragrances, I think, probably in the world today. I'm going to put that on. No pheromones. I'm going to go out and say, wow, tonight's the night. I have my Creed Absolute on. I mean,
Good stuff.
how do you address
Ultimate.
it? You have to try it.
Yeah, a couple of other quick questions then. If you wanted to just, let's say you really like Creed Aventus and you don't want any other thing to wear, could you buy one of your non-scented pheromone things
Absolutely.
and combine it with your Aventus? And will that work?
That's what they're for. When we first started 15 plus years ago, we only were producing just singular molecules
Hmm.
in our products. Okay, there was no fragrance, and we did that. Well, I did that because I didn't want to compete with the fragrance masters out there, all the master fragrance houses. I have no right to think I could compete in such a category. So
Hmm.
that's why we came out with the fragrances just being the molecules just being placed in alcohol, so you can put it on or spray it on, let it dry, and then use your own favorite fragrance along with it. It's a double-edged sword.
Absolutely. Now, the gentleman I'm talking to, guys, if you're just joining us here, is Matt Halper of pheromonecologne.com. I'm putting the link down there, and I'm finding out more about the topic of pheromone colognes. Now, couple more questions from the audience, and then I've got a couple more general questions for
Sure.
you. We've got some other more technical points, but I think we could be here all day about that. If this guy is wearing Creed Absolute, I'm never buying
I
it.
love it.
Reaper tends
Oh,
to be
why
a
would you
negative.
say that? It's so delicious. It's a beautiful fragrance. Test it and sample it. I think you'll be very surprised.
Yep, there's obviously going to be some, these very technical ones. I think we perhaps won't bother to get into that
Hey,
now.
if he doesn't wear the Creed Absolute, he's missing out.
Well,
So
I do know him actually, and trust me, Creed Absolute or no Creed Absolute, not a lot's going to help him, I'm afraid. But
okay.
anyway, that's another story. He's got a few issues, but never mind. We're glad you're in the chat there, Reaper. Let's move on then. I'm going to go off topic a little bit now. So you've given us some fantastic insights into your
I
brand.
hope so.
You've been very gracious in answering the inevitable skeptical comments, and that's
Sure.
that's fine. We could debate that forever, and
Yeah.
people will still not agree. That's what it's all about. A couple more fun
Right.
things, because I know you are a big fan of the rock and roll music, so we're just going to briefly talk about that if you don't mind. I won't keep you too much
Sure.
longer. But on the fragrance community thing, what do you make of this sort of whole online fragrance influencer type world? Is that very important for your brand? Do you have a lot of influencers that you send free bottles to make TikTok reels or Instagram or YouTubers? Or is that not so important to you? I don't know.
Dan, I don't want to, I mean, I've got a lot to say because I've been doing this for a long time, and I just don't like to talk bad about things. I always try to be positive and proper. So inevitably, to answer your question, at this point in time, whatever TikTok, well, we're not on TikTok, but whatever Instagram and social media posts that we do, it's really for our own enjoyment. It's to keep our creative endeavors flowing. And if people can enjoy the images and the product information, great. But it's definitely not something that we, what would one say, that brings in part of our bottom line off of social media. I would say what comes in from social media, it trickles in. All the orders that come in are internet orders. They're repeat customers, repeat business from all the years we've been around, all the distributors that we work with online, et cetera. That's what we do. But as far as social media really boosting any type of interest, it's really not a big intake on our side.
Okay. That's a straight answer to the question.
But we enjoy it. It's fun. But, we don't really take it as like a money-making venture. We
It's
don't
not
look at
central to
social media.
your marketing sort of
That's
thing at the
correct.
moment. Okay.
That's correct.
What about, I think we covered this in the last one, but it is kind of an important point. So what if you're not heterosexual? So say you're a man and you would like to attract other men, or you're a woman that would like to attract another women.
It's so
How does
easy.
that work? How does that work?
It's so easy, Dan. You just keep things the same. A gay man would wear the same cologne that a straight man would wear. Do you understand why? I'll explain. It's real simple. So for example, let's say you have two gay men, okay?
Yes.
And a gay man is going to go out in public and he's going to want to smell the essence of a man.
Yes.
Well, that's why you would wear the gold label, because,
Okay.
or any of our private collection,
Yeah.
cologne parfums for men, because it's the essence of a man. A man
Okay.
wants to smell a man. Now, a woman, it's the same concept. A woman would get the pheromone cologne or perfume for women, and she would spray it on, and it would attracts other women.
The pheromone is specific to who you are,
The
not
sexual
who you want
gender,
to attract.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
if you are a man, you want to give off manly pheromones. It
Correct.
doesn't matter who you want to attract. It's that
Correct.
simplify that makes it nice
Yes.
and simple for us. So a
It's
man,
as simple as that.
Okay, a great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I like that. Okay, okay. So top 3 influencers. Do you watch any? Are there any that, apart from myself, obviously, any people on YouTube or Instagram that you do like to watch occasionally? If you have,
I do. I do. I'll tell you, there's, I love Joe Sent Me. I love Mr. Cologne 76. There's this really good guy in England, Mr. Smelly. He's awesome. I love watching him. That's
Mr.
you,
Clone
Dan, of
76, you
course.
like the American guy, yeah? No,
Yeah, I
thanks.
do. They're
Very
they're,
kind.
they're
Yeah.
wonderful people. There's a few others. Cuba Now, I think he's
Cuba, no,
called.
yeah, he's
Oh,
spicy.
he's
Yeah.
so wonderful. He's
Has
very,
he?
very funny.
Has he tried your?
Um, no, no, no. I'm really at the point now where, look, our colognes are premium. I don't need help selling our product at all, Dan. It does itself, For all you naysayers out there, little stab. No, but really, the whole social media aspect of things, we don't need it for business. We don't rely on it for business. And to be honest, I'm really getting tired of sending out expensive premium bottles of cologne through social media because it really doesn't
Doesn't
it
yield.
doesn't bring us anything in. It doesn't perform. So, we'll keep the bottles and we'll send them out to, certain influencers over time, but we're just not going to flood the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Try this bottle, try this bottle, try this bottle. We don't want to be ultra famous, okay? I don't want 10,000 orders coming
Yeah,
in a week. We don't want that because when you start producing large production modules in
yeah.
this capacity, you're going to lose your our bottles are handmade, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Every bottle is made to order. When you start mass producing like that, you really lose a lot of the perfection. So we're a niche master pheromone fragrance house. That's what we are. We are
Fair
niche.
enough.
We're not for everyone. We don't want to conquer the world. We're here to, sell and share our products with a whole bunch of good people. That's all. We're
All
not
right.
looking to become, pheromonecologne.com. They're the number one, pheromone choice of the world. I don't want all that attention in business. We make masterpiece collections. They take time, it takes effort, and it takes money. So we're not here to blow products out all over the place. Each bottle is meticulously crafted with our molecules and our fragrances and our alcohol. It's real simple.
All right, PDD super sticker. Yeah, look, I'm grateful for super chats and stickers, but yeah, it's probably best that you don't comment under that name. Thanks anyway for the 99, less than £1 super sticker. Not very generous anyway. So I'll ask you to not continue, but I do appreciate the token gesture there. Yeah, okay, this is interesting stuff. So the influencer thing, not huge. Big fan of the rock music. Could you give me your top
Yes.
5
I'd love to.
rock bands of the 70s, 60s, 70s and 80s mainly? I think
I
we
will.
both like the
I
heavy
will.
rock sort of stuff a little bit, don't we? So give me your top 5 off the top of your head,
So,
classic rock.
absolutely. Well, I am a musician. I went to Berklee College of Music. I am a jazz fusion rock drummer extraordinaire. I grew up as a little boy playing drums, and I've been in some incredible rock bands in my day. So I love music. So some of my favorites would be, of course, Phil Collins and Genesis. I love Genesis
Okay, yeah,
with Peter Gabriel. I love
okay,
Peter Gabriel on his own.
all
Number
right, yeah,
two, I would say King Crimson. I'm a huge
okay,
Robert Fripp,
I see,
Bill
yeah,
Bruford fan, all those guys, Tony Levin, Adrian Belew. The third would be Yes. I'm a very,
okay,
very big
okay.
Yes fan. I love them. Number four would easily be Led Zeppelin. Number five would be Rush. And I could keep going and going and going because I love good music,
Great
Dan.
selection. Okay, and like myself, you're fond of a decent beer. So
Oh, only German beers. I'm an Army
yeah.
veteran. I don't know if you knew that, if I
You
shared
were
that
in
with
Germany,
you.
weren't you? I think
I was.
back in
My
the
whole,
maybe. I know you don't look old enough, but back in the Cold War, I think you were over there,
yeah,
weren't you?
that's correct. I'm a Cold War veteran indeed. So
Yeah.
my whole tour in Germany, they weaned us on the finest German beers that there are in the world. And when I came back from my tour in Germany, just shy of 3 years, I became this like ultimate German beer snob, and that's the only beer I drink. I just love Bavarian German beers. So yeah.
They are great. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. And
Best.
especially now with the whole craft beer thing, those can be fun too. But people sometimes overlook that some of the long-standing German ones are, the lagers or the wheat
Sure.
beers are just as good as
The
anything.
Augustiner, the
Yeah,
Polaner,
that's it. Yeah.
there's just so many just incredible, delicious, high potent German beers. Ondex beer, that's brewed by
Okay.
monks. They've been making that beer the same way since I think 1328. And the dark beer, the double Bock Ondex beer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good luck drinking a pint because you put down a pint quickly enough, you're very tipsy, very
There are
tipsy.
some amazing. Yeah, I know some of those are really good. The Aventinus
Yeah,
or something. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
they're
there
really great.
often. I speak the language fluent. I
Oh
speak
really?
several
Wow.
languages, yeah. But German, I speak like I speak English, and I'm there often. I'm probably planning a trip to go back there again within the next month or so to visit
All
some
right.
friends. So, yeah.
So this is Matt Helper, guys, from pheromonecologne.com. If you're just joining us, it's pinned in the chat as well. Go to pheromonecologne.com and check them out. A couple of great comments here. Thanks to our friend and moderator and some erstwhile guest on the show. I love when perfumers engage directly with the community. Getting into info straight from the source is invaluable. Don't let the haters discourage you. All right, great stuff.
That was sweet. We never do, and we don't know why. I don't call people haters. They're not hating on us. They just don't understand. And a lot of times when people don't understand a concept or any type of scientific data, they get a little frustrated and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with it. It doesn't work. I'm not interested." That's okay.
Yeah. I've
It's
got a
okay.
question following on from that, but I'll do this one first. Hez Binkovitz says, can we know what type of glasses he's wearing?
These are Ray-Bans, and they're prescription tinted lenses. Thank you for noticing.
More positive stuff here. Bilbo Fraggin says, my man has great skin. Any
Oh,
secrets to that?
well, I've been here in South Florida, for the past 30 something years. I don't bask in the sun. Sun's not really good for you. I eat well, I exercise, I take a lot of supplements. My girlfriend is really, really big on that. And really, she helps and she really takes really good care of me. I eat organically. So there's a lot to be said about that.
Absolutely.
I
You look good.
exercise all the time. I mean, I'm an Army veteran, so, PT, abbreviated for physical training, I do it as often as I can, almost daily,
Important.
you know?
Okay, well, it certainly seems to be working. A great friend of the chat there, Boz Unfiltered. Hopefully, Boz
Thank
is going
you.
to be.
Thank you.
Boz will be. Boz, yeah. Nice to see positivity in the chat. Boz will be probably joining us in one of my upcoming streams too. He's been doing some great streams himself. So good to
Oh,
see you in the
great.
Boz in the chat there, Boz. Just one. I'm not going to keep you much longer because we're going to wind up fairly soon.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Dan. I'm here to help you and answer as many questions as I can.
Yeah, and Hez Binkovitz, we know this anyway. My questions weren't meant for hate. I was just asking technical questions about it because I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
his
yeah.
questions were totally,
No problem.
they were just
Yeah.
genuine how it works. I had one question actually because I'm curious. With the world of niche fragrance brands, there's some naturally some competition, and not everyone gets on with everyone, but there's generally probably some sense of camaraderie and kinship amongst them. Do you find, I'm suspecting that you're perhaps left out of that they don't really view you as one of their own, the sort of other niche fragrance brand owners, or do they interact with you and treat you like
Dan, I'll
part of
tell you
their industry?
something.
Yeah.
I'll answer your question. It's very simple. It's
Mm.
very lonely at the top.
I think that, okay, I suspected it might be that way. Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay. It's tough at the top, as they say, and indeed lonely. Yep. All right. We've got a good question for Bilbo Fraggins, actually. This actually does specifically, I would think, with your kind of stuff, people might think, oh, maybe this matters. So where do you think the best spots to apply fragrance are?
Oh, it's so easy when you're using
Mm-hmm.
any of our pheromone clones.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, this
Yep.
Grand Cherry Oud is going to launch, if I'm lucky, this week. If not, it's going to be live next week. There'll be about 100 bottles at first to start, and they're going to be retailing at $275 a piece because we're using a very, very special oud, and oud is not cheap. I'm just letting you know, when you put oud in a fragrance, it's very expensive. Then you have the pheromones, you have the science and the fragrances. This is not cheap to produce. So to answer your question, you shake it well because you have to
Oh,
distribute the molecules evenly. If you let the bottle just sit still, okay, for a
Hmm.
day, you're going to have all this buildup of molecules on the
Hmm.
bottle. So if you pick it up and you blast yourself, it could be overwhelming. So you want to make sure you shake it well so you can distribute all the molecules all through the bottle. And it's
Okay.
real simple. You give one to the left side, one to the right side. That's all you need. Oh my God. Oh, this smells so good, Dan.
And this is the upcoming release, Grand Cherry Oud.
This is the Grand Cherry Oud. Nothing like this has ever been done before. Again, it's the only one of its kind in the world. And
What's unique about it?
well, it's a very very high end French cherry oud based eau de cologne parfum for men. It doesn't exist anywhere in the world. I'm the only male right now in the world that actually owns this bottle. And when we start producing them and selling them, I'm going to be sad. But this is a masterpiece creation, I'm happy to say, and I'm very happy to share it with everyone. If you can see it there.
Okay. And the price on
Yeah.
those is
This will be 275.
that's US dollars. Yep.
Yeah, US dollars. So something else we have coming out, and you'll often hear me
Cool.
say things about the men, the men, but
Hmm.
the time has come that we have to do something now for the ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be introducing Illustrious. It's going to be one bottle. It's going to be a 1.05 ounce bottle like this, so you can
Hmm.
take it with you, put it in your purse. And this is going to be probably the Chanel of pheromone perfumes from women. The smell is beyond anything anyone's ever smelled. It's incredibly feminine. And gentlemen, this is going to change the playing field with everything. This is going to be the big switch because when a woman has this on, it is unescapable for a man. You cannot walk away from this, just so you know. And I've tested it. It's true.
Um,
Absolutely going to be amazing. This is going to come out around holiday season. It's not ready yet.
Illustrious number 9. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is one with a scent, a
Oh,
fragrance.
that's going to have a fragrance that's going to be mind-boggling. It's going to be a combination of a female gourmand, if you will. You're going to have some berries and some florals in there, and it's just going to be it's unstoppable. When a man will smell this on a woman, good luck.
I think that's a lovely note to end on. It's been absolutely
Yeah.
great, just short of an hour. Go and check out Pheromone Cologne. As I say, I haven't had the privilege to try them yet, but I hope I will one day. I am completely open minded about this, and I love talking
Thank you, John.
to people who are doing something a little bit unique in the industry. And we can certainly say that about you. And you've always been a very
Yeah.
gracious and an eloquent guest. So it's always a
Thank
real
you, Dan.
pleasure to talk to you.
And you do a wonderful job interviewing. You ask all the right questions, and it's always a pleasure coming on your show, Dan. And I hope you'll keep me coming on periodically because there's always things to share. You
Yes,
know.
absolutely, and I absolutely will. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks so much for joining us. This live stream will stay up. Some of them don't. This one will be there. So if you missed any, have a look back. All the important questions were answered, and many more. Thank you. I didn't get to every comment or question, but thank you, Basic Malarco. Missed a couple of your points there. And Ton Con enjoyed it. Hilarious stream, like the good old days. We'll have some more fun coming up soon. Stay tuned to the Mr. Smelly channel. I will end it there. We'll see.